Joining me today is Steve Lowe from GoGold Resources. Steve, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
So you guys are a silver producer in Mexico. There's a couple of them here. What can you tell us about your read on the silver market? We feel like, just having been here, maybe it's because there's a lot of silver companies here, or maybe it's got something to do with $31 silver. Feels like silver is getting a bit of a buzz again.
It's getting a lot of a buzz, and as a matter of fact, I was at a dinner last night with someone who works on Bay Street, and he's following the market very closely. And he said, some people talk about $31 silver and say, it's at the high, and he goes, but I want to show you this. And he took back and he showed me a chart of a 10-year silver chart, and you could really see a nice consolidation over the last 10 years. And I mean, it was his view is that, you look at a chart like this and you look at that kind of a consolidation, and, $50 silver is no longer out of the question. And, I don't think it's that much of a stretch to even start talking about $100 silver, but I'll save that for the experts.
You just gave us our YouTube thumbnail. Steve Lowe, $100 silver. So tell us about GoGold. We've never had you guys on before. What's the story?
Well, I would say that the most interesting thing about GoGold is, we are a silver company, and, albeit the name, we have our assets in Mexico, and by value, they're 60% silver, 40 gold. And we've been operating a tailings retreatment facility for the last 10 years in the state of Chihuahua. And, that's really given us an opportunity to develop great relationships with the government, because, it's a facility that really cleans up some old tailings out of a city, gives the city back the land for development, and, we're cleaning up a mess. So it's a really nice project that has good, strong community and state involvement, and has allowed us to develop the great relationships in Mexico with the government. And as we all know now, we think that that's going to be important for developing projects, in the future and with the new government.
How many ounces are you guys looking to produce, say, over the last year or
so again, with the tailings retreatment, it's a small facility, but we produce, 1,700,000 silver equivalent ounces a year. But the driver of the value is a project that we bought in March 2019 in Jalisco state. It's called the Los Ricos. It's divided in Los Ricos South and Los Ricos North. We've spent the last 4 years, doing a lot of drilling, and we've advanced those projects all the way through engineering. And the Los Ricos South is pretty much shovel ready. We're going to wait. We have an underground permit application in. We expect to have that underground mining permit, and I specify underground mining, given the talk about open pit mining in Mexico. We are underground mine. And so, we expect once we have that permit, we'll begin construction right away. And that's an 18-month build. In production, that mine will produce 8 million ounces a year and all-in sustaining costs of under $10. And the Los Ricos North, once that's in production, the Los Ricos North asset will be through its final engineering and shovel ready, and permit in hand there. With Los Ricos South in commission, that mine will go into construction phase, and once that's in production, 2 years beyond that, GoGold goes from today 1.7 million ounces of silver to 9 million ounces of silver, to Los Ricos North coming online to 17, 18 million ounces of silver at costs around $10.
Wow, that's pretty low. Is that all-in sustaining cost?
That is all-in sustaining, and the reason for such a low all-in sustaining cost is in our Los Ricos South project, we are looking at 11-meter wide average stope widths. And so, sometimes it's hard to visualize, what 11 meters is. But, for example, some of the underground mines that are operate 1 to 2 meters. So, you're talking stope widths of 10 times what they're operating. So, your dilution is a lot lower, and you're able to get the mining costs really down low. So that's the real benefit there with the wide widths.
So one of the themes that we're sort of hearing about online and chatting with some of the Mexican producers about, obviously, is we got a new president coming into power in Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum.
Yes.
We're hearing mixed things about that. Some people in the space think it's going to be really positive. Others think it's going to be, perhaps she's going to take over where AMLO left off. What's your take on it? Where do you think Mexican mining's heading?
Well, as we know, it's the same party, so similar policies. Everyone knows that she's an environmentalist and she's concerned about the environment, and so those are where they're picking up where they're left off. But our view would be that AMLO would be more of a blanket approach, where he would just make a statement about an entire thing, whereas we believe Claudia Sheinbaum, she's a PhD. She's very technically driven. She's a data-driven person, and we think that her approach will be more case by case. So what I mean by that is, it's our, we are of the view that she will look at projects and how they impact the local community in terms of water usage and the footprint. So a project that would be a small open pit, doesn't use much water, maybe those will be able to be approved. And and again, nobody has said anything about underground mining. And our Los Ricos South project will be an underground mine. We are doing paste backfill, so we drive the ramp down, we mine towards surface, and then all the waste rock gets mixed with cement and pumped back down underground. So in terms of footprints, it's as low as you can get, I think, in terms of mining. And even with the water usage where we are, we're already talking to the local community about increasing the size of their dam to increase their water reservoir. So any water we do use, while being minimal, is not taking water from the community. And I think those are the things that they are going to focus on and they're going to want to see, because they very much are pro-business. They've already said a few times that they are focused on not slowing foreign direct investment. And in fact, 2 weeks ago, she announced Marcelo Ebrard as her economy minister, and the market very much views him as pro-business. And in fact, the peso rallied on that news. And they announced a new minister, which again, we believe is positive, especially as it relates to mining. And she used to work for Marcelo Ebrard. So, with that, we think, she will also be, pro-business. And so, what regulations may tighten, controls may get a little more strict, but in reality, that would just bring them up to standards of permitting a mine in the U.S. or Canada, which still happens frequently. So we're positive.
Well, Steve, thanks for hopping on here. I think you guys got a great story as we enter what feels like a pretty big silver bull market. We are going to hold you to that $100 forecast, and so we'll see. But thanks very much for hopping on here. Great job today, and hopefully you guys will come back on in the future and update us as you guys ramp up your production.
No problem. And maybe we'll see you down on site one day.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Take care.